The strategy that works for either of us might be different for you because you're a different person and you probably have a different unique superpower of some kind.
I know you interviewed a lot of, your film is incredible, by the way.
Thank you.
So I know you interviewed a lot of doctors that had been practicing for a while. So the people that I've talked to they're typically residents, so they're pretty early on, starting out. And I found that talking to them has actually been somewhat productive because they haven't been so imbibed in the normalcy of the procedure. So do you have any strategies, either of you guys, for the most effective way to talk to residents? Because I know a lot of my friends, are like mid to late 20s and they're already critiquing all sorts of society anyway, so they're not so shocked to critique another part of it, but sometimes it's so off their radar that just to bring them to a place to even question it, I think could be useful. But do you have any suggestions for a good way to bring them to a thought-provoking place?
It's a systemic problem. So you can look at everyone as having a dimension of victimization. It's easy to be like, oh, the parents are bad because they made a choice. But no, they were fooled into that choice. Or, oh, the doctors are bad because they're the ones literally doing the thing. But they were kind of manipulated into that too. And so because medical training is kind of like drinking from a fire hose and trying to keep all the water down, I don't think medical students and residents have a lot of time to reflect. And when you don't have a lot of time to reflect, you end up discarding a lot of internal gut feelings. And so if you have a relationship with somebody, you have this really beautiful opportunity to just kind of ask them what their experience is like and ask them to unpack that and be present for them. And they might start to notice what I'm guessing is often there the first time they're involved in one of these procedures, this uncomfortable gut feeling that the deluge of information forces them to suppress so they can be good students. So that would be my recommendation for an opening, is just ask them, oh, have you had to assist or learn about a circumcision? What have you felt or thought about it? And start with their experience, and then later you could, if they seem open, add, offer information. Do you have any different thoughts?
I think that's really great. I feel like the conflict, at least in the film, is not necessarily between pro and anti, but between people who are willing to feel their feelings and people who aren't. And so getting them to actually feel those feelings is a really, really good idea. I know that one of the interviews that will be on our bonus features that I wasn't able to include was Paul Fleiss, who's a doctor who used to perform the procedure, did hundreds of them, and then stopped. And he said he stopped because he heard the cry of the baby. And literally, he just blocked it out one after the other because he's a doctor, he's trained to do things, and he has things to get done, and he's just, trying to get things done. And so getting people to feel those feelings, I feel like, is not just the key for residents, but for everyone. And we were talking too earlier about different strategies for change. I feel like too, the thing that works for you may be specific to you. So I know that Ryan, one of his superpowers is communication and really getting people to feel their feelings and unpacking what the emotions of a particular situation or person might be. For me, I feel like I'm very good at taking a large amount of information and condensing it into media. And so that's the strategy I chose. And it's also just that, I've wanted to make films since I was 14. I went to film school. It's what I love doing. And so the strategy that works for either of us might be different for you because you're a different person and you probably have a different unique superpower of some kind. So if I was going to approach medical students, I would want to do a film screening with them because obviously that's what I do, right? Ryan would build a relationship with someone and start unpacking their feelings. And what you do might be different. So.